under the section 1.1.3, in this video number 3, let us discuss about the functional areas of management. The managerial knowledge is around 8 functions where they have to get well knowledge about the areas. First one is planning, second one organizing, staffing, directing, motivating, coordinating, controlling and communicating. So these are all the 8 key areas where the manager has to well versed with. The first one is planning. A manager should have a good planning so that it can able to start in a efficient manner. Manager should be a good organizer. A manager should be a coordinating with respect to the staffing is very important. Directing the workers who are working under him is also important. Motivating the employees is also important function. Coordinating with the employees, with the man, material and the machineries is very important. Controlling the entire function, what is going on in the organization is important. And have a good communication with the employees and the outsider is also an important factor. When you mix up all these factors, when you put it in a grinding machine and if you grind all those things, that is 8 functions, the output that you get is the management, a good management. Let us discuss about the planning first. Planning is the process of looking ahead. That means if you want to do tomorrow whatever the work that you have to do, you have to plan one day in advance. That means the planning may be a long-term planning or a short-term planning. The planning is a looking ahead of any work that has to be accomplished. It is a course of action. Planning is a course of action where you will be doing the actual work after the planning. It is a thinking before doing. That means you have to give the thinking before you start doing that particular work. That is what is the planning is. And guides the other function. The planning will guide the other function how to do it, when to do it, what to do and how exactly to do it and who has to do it. All these factors will be guided by the planning. There may be an individual planning, as you can see in this particular picture. A particular person is doing a planning, that is cutting a branch of a tree. The planning is a failure here. If you can see, there is a failure in the planning because he is sitting on the same branch and he is cutting on the same branch. So likely to fall down from the tree is always there. Hence the planning, individual planning or it is a group planning, one should have a good process, which is very, very important. The sketch, the figure which you can see here gives you the group planning, that is group of people coming together and they are doing a planning with respect to the completion of a job. The next is organizing. Organizing is identifying and classifying the work which need to be performed. So here what is the work that need to be done and how the work has to be done has to be classified. That means identification and classification of the work is the very important factor in organizing. Assigning the work to the people. Once you identify the work, once you classify or divide the work into small pieces, you should assign the work to the people. When you are assigning the work to the people, you should know that who can able to accomplish the job successfully. That should be known to the manager. Delegating the authority and fix the responsibility. That means assigning a job itself is not sufficient. You have to authorize him. You have to give the authority for him to do the job and you have to fix the responsibility. This authority and responsibility should go together. That is hand in hand it should move. Enables the people to achieve the objectives. So organizing will enable, will motivate the people or will make the people to drive towards accomplishing an objective. Organizing the workplace. Here in this particular picture you can see the two people sitting on a work table or a workplace where the organization is missing with respect to the one person, whereas the other person, that is on the right side that you have, you can see this person is being well organized at the workplace, whereas the other person, if you can see, there are a lot of stuff which is being thrown at the workplace and lot of mess which he has created at his workplace. So this is an individual workplace or individual organization. There is also one more thing which is important, that is a group organization. That is organizing the peoples, that is the number of peoples coming together and working as a team is very, very important here. Next topic that we have is staffing. Staffing is a manpower planning that you will be doing. That means you should know which staff is there and where he is available and what is his capacity and what he can able to accomplish should be known to the manager. So in a staffing, the manpower planning is a very important aspect. Along with the manpower planning, you will be doing the recruitment, selection and training. So the recruitment, selection and training with respect to the particular job profile that you have is very, very important. Placement of manpower. So once you recruit the person, once you select the person, once you train, you have to place him, the right man to a right job is very, very important. And also along with the right time is also a important factor a manager has to keep in his mind. So the development, that is the development of an individual worker, the promotion of an individual worker, transfer of an individual worker, appraisal of a worker, all these factors will come under the staffing. The employee remuneration, whenever it comes to the remuneration point of view, you should never be very less and you should never be very high. You should be moderate with respect to the region where the employees are working. That is the optimum solution that you can have with respect to the staffing. If you can see the picture, the lot of employees are there in the market, lot of people are there in the market. You should find the best employee that is suitable for your particular job. So you have to have a magnifying glass to see that who is the best suitable person for a particular job that you have. The next topic that we have is directing. Directing is showing the right direction to the employees is very, very important, because without a proper direction you can never reach the destination in place, or you can never reach the goal in time. Hence the proper direction is very, very important, and the proper direction is necessary for to have a leadership, a communication skill, a good motivation, a supervision. All these things will be involved in directing the employees towards the job. The process of directing is define the objective is the first process that you have. You have to define any work that you have. You have to define the job. After defining it, you have to organize the effort. That means you have to see that how many people are essential, what is the work timing that is essential. You have to organize the man, material and the machinery so that you can able to accomplish the job. Once the organization is over, you have to have a measure then the work. That is, what is the work that you have and what is the work that has been accomplished. You should know that. And the last one is developing the people. Here you have to develop the people to the required job what you have, or to the required work what is necessary for you. If you can see the picture here, directing is the key managerial function. If a manager doesn't know how to direct the peoples, then the peoples who follow him will do the same process. Hence, directing is a key or a very important function of a manager. Next is the motivating, that is the motivation that you have. Whenever you have to motivate the peoples, that is the work is defined as a willingness to exert the high level of efforts to reach the organization goal. So motivating is very much essential for an employees to improve the productivity. A motivated employee can do a productivity can increase to a higher extent. There are four types of motivation that you have: intrinsic motivation, eccentric motivation, the interjected motivation, and identified motivation. Here the intrinsic and the eccentric motivation are the two things which is very very important. The intrinsic motivation is the motivation within himself. The eccentric motivation is the something which you show them. That means you give them some increment, you give them some promotion, and you show them something higher level, and you are making them to work in your organization or making them to accomplish the goal. How to keep motivated at the workplace? It is a love for work is a one factor that motivates the people at work. Keep the short and long term goals. That means don't give them the long term goals always. You should have both the long term goals and the short term goals, which can motivate the employees to accomplish the job. Commitment to the work is very much essential. Optimistic, you should be very optimistic to do the work, and the working atmosphere should be very good. The satisfaction or personal reward should be taken care to motivate the employees at the workplace. Next you have is the coordinating. Coordinating is you have to unite or you have to provide the unity of action. The coordination is very much essential with respect to the employees, because with the coordination you can able to achieve better. You can able to achieve the goal in a very short period of time. Most essential or the success of all the functions is the coordination. You have done a very good planning, you have done a very good staffing, you have done a very good motivation, everything you have done. But if the coordination is missing, you can never reach to the destination, or you can never reach to the goal of the organization. Hence, the coordination is very much essential. It is present in all the activities of an organization, such as production, sales, function. Whatever the activities that you take in an organization, the coordination will be present. Without a coordination, no employee can do the job effectively. Two types of coordination exist. That is, one is the internal coordination within the organization. The second one is the external coordination, that is organization with the outsider. That means the organization with the government bodies, the organization with the market, the organization with the distributors. All these things will be the external coordination that is existing. If you don't have a coordination, like what is shown in the picture here, if you don't have a coordination, you can never reach to the top of the organization. That means if at all you have to reach to the top of organization, it is very much essential for you to have a good organization. The next you have is the controlling. Under the controlling will be a process of monitoring the performance and task, the corrective action to reach the result. That means when you say them this is how you have to do it, you have to have a controlling. You should tell them that what time they should start and what time they should end. You should always give them the benchmark or a deadline so that they can able to complete the job in time. It will ensure the right things to happen in the right way at the right time. This is very very important in organization. Even if you are losing the particular time of the organization, that is the right things to happen at the right way at the right time. All these three functions are very very important for an organization. The goal oriented functions which ensure the organization resources are utilized in an effective and efficient way. That is, whenever you have to reach the goal, all the resources in an organization has to be effectively utilized. effectively utilized in an efficient way can ensure to reach the goal of an organization. That is an important function. If you can see this particular picture where there is a controller who is standing on the top, or who is controlling the employees every time, every now and then, and can able to take the feedback from them, what has been happened and how the things has to move towards. If you don't have a controller, as you can see in the picture here, if you don't have a controller, the board can never reach the desired goal. Hence, it is very much essential to have a controlling factor in a manager. The next is communicating. The communicating is it is a process of creating and sharing the ideas, information, views, facts, feelings, etc. among the people to reach the common understanding. So, whenever you have to tell the people to do something, you need to have a good communication, because they should understand the idea whatever you are telling, they should understand the information whatever you are telling, they should understand your viewpoint, so that they can able to respond in a particular manner. Effective communication involves not only sharing the information but also receiving it, that is by listening to the employees. It is whenever you communicate, it is not only one direction, it is a two direction process that you have. You should also listen to the employees. There are 7 C's of effective communication. The first C is courtesy, the second one is the clarity, third one is consensus, the fourth one is completeness, fifth one is correctness that you have, that the fifth one is, sixth one is consentness, and the seventh one is credibility. So these are all the different C's that you have for effective communication to exist in an organization. Let us also see the 5 barriers for communication. Language may be a barrier, because he knows one language, and if you are talking in other language, that means if he knows the Japanese and if you are talking in the Indian language, then it will be a failure. Communication can never succeed. Cultural diversity can also be a barrier for communication. Gender differences can also be a barrier for communication. The status differences and the physical separation can also be a barrier for communication. So whenever your manager is communicating with the people, he should keep all these things in the mind, that what is the language, what is the cultural diversity, what is the gender difference that they are having, what is the status difference and the physical separations they have. And by considering all these things, if you can able to communicate with the people, that is with the employees, you can find a success in your managerial function. So with this, we are ending the functions of management in this particular video series. Thank you. Thank you very much.